Hi, Saul Klein at the National Association of Realtors mid-year meeting in Washington, D.C., and I'm here with Merri Jo Cowen, who I've known for many years, who's the CEO of one of the biggest MLSs in Florida, My Florida MLS, and we just heard that there's a new MLS in
That's
Florida,
right.
and what was interesting to me, I saw the press release that said, yes, the future is bright for Stellar. I thought that was very clever, and so you've been doing this for a long time, Merri Jo.
Yes.
You've been in the industry, and you've accomplished a whole lot, and some people might say, well, it's about time to retire, but now you're entering this whole new arena. Tell us about that and what you plan on doing.
Wow. Well, I'm first of all really excited to announce, yes, the new MLS in town. Originally, my idea was we should be hell yes, okay MLS or something, but people went, yeah, maybe not so much. So we came up. We've spent a lot of time researching and coming up with our new name, Stellar MLS, and we are pumped about everything that goes behind this. And as far as retiring, that it's just not in me.
Out of the question.
Not at this point. I know some people think, oh, you've been in the business for 30 plus years. Aren't you tired yet? It's like, no, I love this industry. I am so passionate about MLS, and since the day I caught in, and I'm not ready to go anywhere. There's still lots of work to be done.
I think you're just getting started.
I feel like it is. It's totally just now.
So now we have Stellar MLS. What were the entities that came together to form Stellar MLS?
Well, Stellar MLS is we currently have 14 shareholders, and we serve several small associations as customers, a couple of those. And we also, earlier last year, I guess late last year, brought in the Puerto Rico Association of Realtors under our umbrella.
That.
So we kind of started feeling like we're kind of outgrowing our skin. And if we want to grow and expand across wherever, not just Florida, but anywhere else, we need to have a name that speaks to that and that doesn't restrictive just to Florida.
Well, so some people say, well, it's just a name change, but it's not just a name change.
No, it's not just a name change. And I think it's a philosophical change. It's an attitude change. It's actually us being a lot more bold about the things we've been doing and all of the things that we are doing to show what a really top-notch MLS can be to its agents and its brokers.
I read in the press release this phrase, curated customer experience. I would say, who's the customer and what is this experience?
Okay. Well, the curated customer experience has to do with our customers. Our customers are our brokers and their agents. And we also serve, of course, our shareholder associations, and so we consider them customers as well. So this curated journey, though, is really focusing in on brokers and agents. We want them to have a stellar experience, and we want to be different. So we are building, we just launched a new member profile about a month ago. And 25% or so of our members have already signed up, but it's full of information that will help us curate their journey. So we find out what specialty they're in or how long they've been in the business. So if they're new, we can tailor our communications to products and services that they might be ready for. Instead of drinking through the fire hose when you first come in about all these products, we offer more than 24 different products. How do they know where to start without being overwhelmed? Just likewise for our experienced agents and brokers who have been in the business a long time and who are more interested in maybe curating leads, and so we can target communications to them about how the products we offer can help them build their business.
So
and same for brokers.
Yeah, they're going to get relevant communication
instead of
pieces from you.
everybody getting everything.
Give me some examples of something that might be relevant to somebody that's been in the industry for a while and somebody that's new.
Well, I think that we have a lot of tools that we offer. I'm trying to think of one specifically that, one that we just launched Remind about a week and a half ago. But instead of starting with traditionally the way MLSs have been doing this is you start with that basic level package that would be good for somebody just getting started, limited number of contacts, limited number of things that you can build within the system. But we went for the full pro package for Remind, so all of our members, regardless of their level of how long they've been in the business, now have full access. So we might take that and start curating different experiences or different tools that they can use in Remind based on what their
profiles
when you're new,
are.
you're coming in, you want to build your business. Well, how can you farm? How can you use the tools that we have? Not just Remind, but we have other tools. How can you use them to create your farm? And how can you use some of our products that have free lead tools in them to build your business?
Well, you run very successful MLS. You've grown. You're a leader. Just won the Peter Shuttleworth Award, so a great award to win.
So honored.
And but again, you do a lot of this. You're behind the scenes oftentimes. So this might require now with this new launch that you step out into the limelight. Is that something you're looking at doing?
It's okay. I'm fine with it. I've always been fine with it, but our philosophy has been more on the. I guess I use the word humble because people tell me that sometimes I'm too humble and I don't but I think as an organization we haven't stood up and said, hey, did you know that we've done this? And we do press releases, but we just haven't really stood up and said, hey, we are doing a great job. We know we're doing a good job. Our members, our customers give us great ratings on customer service and our tech support, but we just don't industry-wide haven't just stood up and said, hey, look at us, look what we're doing. Because I think that's the industry's calling for that right now.
Yeah.
I think it's based on the need. We've got a lot of MLSs. We are actively wanting to grow and consolidate. We don't feel like geography is an issue anymore with the internet, and we have local service centers everywhere we go. So we just want to just kind of stand up and say, hey, here we are. Here's what we have to offer.
And here's what you're doing.
So we're being much bolder.
Yeah, well, that's a great way to put it.
Much bolder.
So when we look at the MLS industry and we look at the industry today, there's lots of things going on. And what do you see as things that are important or things that need to be done in the industry? Maybe things that aren't being done that should be done?
Well, I think our focus, and I think this is where a lot of MLSs, even associations, don't always focus, but our focus has been consistently on our brokers and our agents. And we are a customer-centric organization, and I think that's lacking in a lot of organizations. There are great MLSs that are really well run, and that we can hold a candle next to them, we can compete with them, but they're doing a great job. But there are other times that we feel like we hear stories like this broker can't get his or her own listing data from the MLS. That's just crazy. Without our brokers and agents, we don't exist. So that's where I see the biggest push is let's stand up behind the words. We are broker-centric. We want to improve. We can always do better, but that's our goal. And I think that's something that's kind of missing is remembering who our customers are.
I hear, and I've heard this, and I know you have as well, that brokers put their data into the MLS and then they have to fight like crazy to get it back for some kind of purpose that they need it for, and it was theirs in the first place, and yet we see across the country that that's very difficult.
Yeah, and it just boggles my mind that there are still MLSs or association-run MLS, whoever they might be, that are not giving the brokers back, at the very least, their own data. And it's theirs, and they should have it. And I was in a discussion earlier today. We were talking about that brokers should have their own data, and you know what? We've never charged for that. If you want your own data, Mr. Broker, here it is for free. We set it up, you get it, do what you need with it. It's your data. So, but we never hold it in back office, whatever it is.
And we know so many that do, though.
I don't know any of them who are specifically, but I hear like you do about it, and I just don't understand with this competition and the tugging going on in the industry, and the brokers that say that the MLS is their worst nightmare. That's offensive because no, we're not. We're here for you. So to have others that aren't is a little discouraging.
Yes. Well, you participate in all these big industry projects like the Grid and RESO, and give us a little bit of the reason why you participate in those types of enterprises.
Well, I think, RESO for sure, we're a charter member. We have been very active. It's the industry. You can't just sit still and not participate and not be ready. And we consider it an obligation for us as a leader. We're the third largest MLS in the country. And we can't just say, oh, we're the third largest, we're awesome, and sit back and do nothing. We are actively engaged in all kinds of initiatives because we intend to be there. And when The MLSs, everybody says, oh, someday there'll be 12 or 50 or 75 or doesn't matter what the number is. We're going to be one of those.
Yes.
And if we don't stay involved in the industry, then we won't be.
Yeah, so I have to compliment you on participating and spending the time, because people don't realize the time, the commitment in participating in those organizations.
Yeah. You can't, if you're not informed, how can you make great decisions? And how can you have vision to where we're going?
Well, speaking of vision, as you look out now at Stellar MLS, and what do you see next couple steps? Do you have any obstacles that you have to overcome? So we've got that new philosophy, this new look, this new name. You're already doing things great. Everybody's telling you you're doing things great. Your customers are satisfied. What's the next step?
Well, our next step is to keep our focus on our current customers, our brokers and our agents, but we want to grow. We see that what we can offer can outpace what others can. If there's a great culture mix or a great fit, we're looking to grow, and not just in Florida, but we have conversations with. I guess philosophically, I could say, like in the past, we would say, if somebody would come and say, "Hey, can you tell us about MFR?" We would say, "Sure, we'll come." Now we're like, right now, here we are. We're going to come talk to you. We're going to be bold, and we're not going to push you. We're not going to pressure you, but we think we're pretty stellar, and we have a lot to offer. So we're going to be definitely pushing to grow, and not just in Florida, anywhere.
Well, I love that approach.
Yeah.
So you can actually talk to people, because you know how that works. Sometimes just talking helps, even if if people don't come together. Just the conversation kind of helps the industry out. So you're leading in that way too.
Absolutely.
You're not afraid to stop at state lines, and the conversation only goes this far.
No way, because you can't have those boundaries anymore.
Yeah.
With the internet, you just everything mobile. You just don't have boundaries.
Well, I'd love to see that, when Puerto Rico, that came in, that was a great addition, huh?
It has been. It's been a cultural challenge, because it's so different there. But we went in there not, to make a bunch of money or anything, but to really help, to really try to help build the business down there. So it's coming along.
That's great. Well, anything else you want to tell us about Stellar, about My Florida MLS? Is it becoming, or is it now we're in is it like an ongoing journey?
So the press release went out last week. So we're officially Stellar, but we're unveiling, our new website, our company website, and all of our name tags and, stationery and everything is changing to Stellar on June 4th.
June 4th.
So that's our big reveal day, so to speak. But we've totally redone our member customer website. Has a total different feel to it, to help our members find find what they need. And also it's got a whole section about why would you be interested in being part of Stellar. So again, we're not being so shy anymore about it. Not going to strong arm anyone.
But you're going to let people know who you are, what you're doing,
and
why you're doing it.
And how we're doing it, and what we think we're doing great, and continue on that path. So we've got lots of exciting plans coming in the next year or so to really just go crazy. And we spent the last year kind of getting ready for this. Yeah. We took our matrix database, our back-end database, about a year ago. Worked with CoreLogic, and
that's an important point,
it's a
right?
native database.
CoreLogic.
But the database is now RESO native.
Oh, wow.
So, and yes, we're part of the MLS grid, but how much easier was it to give them the data when it was already?
Sure.
And so we're seeing all kinds of benefits of that with mapping. Remind was able to bring us on in a month, because our data was so already mapped. So we've built a foundation over the last few years, and now we're ready to brag about it.
Well, and it is all about the data, isn't it?
It is. It's totally about the data, and we're going to give our brokers what they need.
Well, keep us informed.
Absolutely.
We love watching what you're doing.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And congratulations once again.
Thank you so
much, Merri Jo.
Thanks all.